So a buyer is calling you on the phone asking to take a look at a property. Okay, could be your listing, could be someone else's listing, Zillow, whatever. The lead is reaching you. And once you take that phone call, or you take an email or a text, or whichever way it comes to you, what is really your next step and what's your goal? So I want to basically divide right now and show you what the majority of the industry is doing. Okay, but let's remember that the majority of the industry, 80% to 90% of the agents are only making 20% of the money in the industry. And about 10 to 20% of the agents are making 80% of the money in the industry. So what is really the difference between top-notch producers and the rest of the agents? When I say top producer, I'm talking about people that close 50 plus deals a year. And the majority of them are super professional when it comes to buyers in particularly, because most of them are focused on getting listings. So when there is a buyer coming and they sit down with a buyer, they treat it like a consultation. They're not really showing agents. So if a buyer is calling you and you're going to get up immediately and go show them the house, okay, without pre-qualifying, without asking questions, without realizing exactly specifically what they're looking for, how many people are there, who are the decision makers, how much money they have available, what they're pre-approved for, how much can they spend, etc. Many agents just jump and go to the property to show the property, and then after they do that, if the buyer likes the property, they will sit down and ask some of those questions. And any one of you that really want to take your business to the next level and not work for free, okay, because many agents work for free. If you go out and show properties to a buyer you never pre-qualified and you never sign exclusive with a buyer, you're just going to go out there. Some agents do that, and then they show 10, 15, 20 properties, and suddenly one day they get a phone call from the buyer saying, hey, I apologize, but me and my wife or my husband and I, we drove by an open house on the weekend, and my husband really liked the house, or my wife really liked the house, and we decided to put an offer on the house with the listing agent. And you worked for 2-3 months with the buyer, but now you're going to lose the deal. So many agents just go out there and they meet with buyers without pre-qualifying, without realizing what the buyer is looking for, showing homes that are not even qualified, and wasting a lot of time. They're not going to get paid for it. Look, you're getting paid at the day of closing. You're not going to get paid by the hour, and no buyer is going to write you a check before you start working with them. For that purpose only, what you should do is you should start processing how you work with buyers and be organized. Okay, and put a process in place. The process should be step number 1, call the buyer. Okay, so if you got the lead via email or on your website, or you bought it on Zillow or whatever, whichever way you got the lead, okay, call the buyer. Schedule an appointment in your office, or schedule an appointment in a coffee shop, or go meet them at their property. So now they're coming to your office, you sit down and you start asking questions. There is a bunch of questions. There's an actual script that I can give you, okay, to ask specific questions and to do a buyer's consultation presentation. I'm inviting you to treat working with buyers the same as you do working with sellers. So if a seller called you and said, hey, I got your postcard, or I heard about you, or a friend of mine referred me to you, okay, me and my wife are thinking about listing our property, and selling it. Would you then go to the house and talk to the sellers and then go back to your office without an exclusive, and you're gonna, take pictures and start working on advertising it and try to get it sold? Or would you go in and do a listing presentation and try to get a listing agreement signed up? That's what you do, right? So why would you then work with buyers any other way? If you work with a seller and you need an exclusive right agreement with the seller to sell the property before you start working on it, okay, before you even take pictures, first you go in, you do a listing presentation, hopefully you'll sign an exclusive agreement with the seller, and then you're going to go start taking pictures. When you work with a buyer, say a buyer called you on a property, the first thing you want to do is you want to meet them face to face, all right? You want to meet in an environment that is allowing you to have 30 minutes with a buyer, asking questions, focusing on what the buyer is telling you, and allowing the buyer to ask you questions. And it's some sort of, first of all, you want to break the ice, you want to build rapport, you want to get to know the buyers, you want the buyers to get to know you, you want to talk about expectations, you want to do all these different things. That's all of that is done, okay, with a script. And many different companies, many coaches, everybody has different scripts, but as long as you follow a script, okay, consultation script with the buyer, that will end up in the buyer signing an exclusive agreement with you, that's the process. Now, statistically, agents that do that, agents that work with buyers this way, number one, call the buyer, set up an appointment, okay? Number two, meet with the buyer, do the buyer's consultation, ask a bunch of questions, discover exactly where they are, okay? Number three, pre-qualify the buyer with the lender, okay? And if they're already pre-qualified, you want to call the lender and you want to ask questions. You want to find out who the lender is, all right? Many people know a lender. They just call them and say, hey, can you give me a pre-approval? I'm looking to buy a house. And many of them just get a letter, without really qualifying them the right way. You want to make sure that the buyer really qualifies. The next step is you do the presentation and then you sign an exclusive. Now, when you sign a buyer exclusive with someone, they have a lot of benefits when they do that, but you need to explain the benefits to the buyers. You need to explain to them exactly what you're going to be doing. Explain your action plan. What will you be doing, okay, if they sign exclusive? For example, preview homes and prices every single day, okay? Preview the homes before you show them the houses to make sure that the house really qualifies. Door knocking, looking for a specific home in a neighborhood that is even not listed. Okay, going to for sale by owners, talking to FSBOs. So you can expose the buyer not just to what's available on the market, but you can also expose the buyer to homes that are not on the market. These are kind of the things that you could do, okay, for an exclusive buyer. Why would you do that? Because the buyer is going to pay you commission. The buyer signed an exclusive to work with you. They're committed. There is a commitment. Now, when they make the commitment, you should also make a commitment. So they make a commitment that they work with you. Obviously, they don't need to pay you because the seller pays the commission. That also needs to be explained. Once you created this environment of an exclusive, okay, the buyer will be loyal to you, all right? They cannot go and buy a house in an open house. They won't be able to drive on a weekend, see a house, all right, a sign, go in, take a look, and then write an offer with the listing agent or with the agent that's doing the open house. That's impossible because they have to go through you. So once you are signing exclusive with buyers, you will have a lot more success with what you're doing. So obviously, the first thing that you need to do is you got to build your sales skills. You need to know what kind of questions to ask over the phone and how to book an appointment with the buyers in your office or in their property or in a coffee shop before you go to a house. You got to learn how to do that. Some buyers will give you objections over the phone. Oh, we don't want to meet you in the office. Let's just go to the house. Why should we waste time, etc.? You need to know how to handle these objections. And once you meet with them and you go through all this process, a lot of buyers, especially first-time home buyers, would appreciate that meeting because you listen to them, you ask them a lot of questions about them. The entire meeting is all about the buyer. It's not about you, okay? It's about the buyer. So you're trying to figure out who they are, trying to figure out what they're looking for, find out their motivation. And after you do all this process, okay, it's time for them to sign the exclusive. Now, will some buyers object to the idea of signing an exclusive? Yes, some buyers don't want to sign an exclusive, and we'll deal with that. Okay, so once you start signing exclusive with buyers, okay, it's like money in the bank. The ratio statistics says for every 2 buyer exclusive agreements you're going to sign up, you will do 1 deal minimum. If you want to think about your business like a business and stop working like it's a job, okay, you're building a business. Now, in your business, you need to know how much money you're going to make this year. All right, say your goal was to make 120,000 and you know that your average commission is, let's say, 5,000. All right, so you need to close 24 deals in order to make $120,000, correct? GCI I'm talking about. Now, in order to do 24 transactions, you'll need to do 2 transactions every single month. So now you can break it down. Okay, if you solely work in buyers, all right, you can really project what your income is going to be based on how many exclusive you can manage to sign up. So for every 2 exclusive you sign, you're going to close at least minimum 1 deal. What does that mean? Well, if you want to do 24 deals this year, you got to sign up 48 exclusive. Which means you got to sign up about 5 exclusives, 4 to 5 exclusive, depending on how many months you're going to work in the year. But if you build your business plan based on 10 months, okay, then you need to sign up about 5 exclusive, buyer exclusive every single month. And that can be projected. Now you can really build a business plan. You're not going to waste time with buyers that are not serious. You're not going to waste time with people that don't want to sign exclusive. You're only going to work with buyers that want to sign exclusive, willing to sign exclusive with you. Okay, and willing to work with you in this kind of an environment. Agents that do that close a lot more deals than agents that just go jump in a car and show houses all over the place. At the end of the day, it comes down to what do you want to achieve in your business. If you wish to, achieve success that is projected, something that you can really plan ahead and then take action accordingly, according to a business plan, then you can really do 40, 50, 60, 80, or 100 plus deals a year. If you're serious about bringing your business to the next level, I highly recommend you to follow a specific process with buyers. If you'd like me to send you the script for the buyer's consultation, okay, if you want to do a free coaching session with me to talk about, how to do this, how to build that in your business, okay, how to introduce it to your business, feel free to contact me. My email address is ron@circle100.com. You can also contact me at 401-830-0831. I hope you'll take advantage of this video, this information. And that's it. Go have yourself a beautiful, productive day.
Yeah.